Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to draw the face using proportion and splitting it into thirds. So this is the kind of end result we're going to go for. This will kind of help you gauge where the eyebrows should be, the bottom of the nose, the chin, and the lips. So remember when you're drawing your face that it's not going to look totally perfect, and that's okay because faces are not totally perfect and symmetrical. And also that your features are going to look different depending on who you are, because we all draw differently and we all ourselves have different features. So this is just kind of the building blocks to help us when we start our self-portraits. So what you're going to need is a sheet of paper and a pencil. If you have your sketchbook, do this inside of your sketchbook. So let's find a clean page. And we will get started. So the first step that you're going to do is draw a circle, and you want to make it fairly decent sized circle to kind of fill up your page. As you can see, I'm not using any sort of stencil or compass. It doesn't need to be perfect, okay? So just get yourself a circle on there. The next step, we're gonna kind of shave off the sides, so to speak. This is like kind of our base, like skull, right? So the top is the top of the head, and then I'm just gonna draw some lines very on the edge. See, I'm not cutting much of the circle off. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I want to make sure those are fairly even, and this is gonna help us make the sides of our head. So once we get here, if you'd like, you can erase that part of the circle that we kind of cut off. That'll kind of give us more of our face shape. All right, so now we're here. Next thing, go ahead and draw yourself a line down the center. This will help us line up our nose and our chin and our lips. Next thing, notice that this line intersects with our circle and they make a couple points right there. So I'm going to connect those points going across with some light lines, okay? Also notice I'm not drawing these super dark because all this stuff will be erased later once you start making a face. So now it looks like I've got kind of a rectangle or square inside of my circle. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to split that into the middle. All right. So now I've got that. So what I want you to notice here, we've got our thirds, and I'm just drawing this so you can understand it. And it might be good to make this note for yourself. So this is our first third. And then from the bottom of that down, this is our second third. So we need to make our third, which is going to be our chin. And it's going to extend a little bit beyond our bottom of our circle. So I'm just kind of going to eyeball how big these are. So I'm going to put that mark kind of where my thumb was. So somewhere about here. Okay, so from there down, that's our third. Okay, so now we've got this split into thirds, so this will be our face. So to finish making the chin, these points here that we made that line across are actually going to come down and connect to the bottom of our chin. So I'm just going to kind of start connecting those to make our jawline. And remember, yours may look a little different from mine. That's okay, all right? Depending on, like, if you end up making this a little more oval, if you make it a little bit wider, then the sides of your face and your chin are gonna change a little bit depending on that, which is totally fine. All right, so now we've got our face split into thirds. So let's start adding in some features. So this top line right here, this is generally gonna be the hairline. All right, so you can make yourself some hair, and it can look however you want it to. Maybe this person's got a little cowlick. So this person's got some long hair. And like I said, you could do any kind of hair that you want. This could be, you could keep that going straight across if you want a straight hairline. If you want to make it a little more asymmetrical like mine, you totally can. You can use that line that we drew for like a middle part. Or if you're going to keep your hair without a part, you know, you could just keep it flat without that line. Awesome. Okay, so that's where our hair is. And this next line here, this is the brow line. All right, so I might bring those in a little bit. So this is our eyebrow. All right, and again, the eyebrows are going to be shaped all sorts of different ways because that's how eyebrows are. Okay, next thing here, the bottom of our second third is generally the bottom of our nose. All right, so I kind of like to start with this little smiley face shape and then start to put in like some nostrils and then those kind of sides of the nose. So noses are kind of hard, so don't be stressed out if it doesn't look perfect. Okay, so lastly, we're going to find where the lips are in this third. So what I'm actually going to do is erase these bottom lines of our circle so we can see where everything's going to fit a little bit better. Kind of get that distraction away. Okay, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to split this into thirds again. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it like that. Okay, so now we've got 1, 2, and 3/3 again from the nose to the chin. And this line right here, that first one we drew, that's going to be the inside of our lip. So above it we'll have our top lip, and below it we'll have our bottom lip. And lastly, this little line is going to be your chin. So there you go. Finish up with the rest of your features. We'll figure out eyes another time, and that's how you draw the face in thirds.